welcome back to my channel. I'm Natalie and today we're doing another book haul. This is definitely a collective book haul. I have not gotten these all within the same time, so I just want to show you guys all the books that I've picked up recently because I'm very excited about a lot of them. And then there will be a very exciting giveaway at the end of this, so stay tuned for that because I'm gonna give away Fourth Wing to one of you guys. Make sure to watch to the end to learn how to enter for that. But I have a ton of books here, so I'm just gonna jump right on into it. So obviously we've entered our summer era here. It's the end of June, almost going to July, which is literally insane to me. But I have obviously been in the mood for summer reads, so I just recently finished It Happened One Summer. I know that was a huge book last year, I think, and I purchased it last year but had never read it, and I just picked it up recently. I gave it a 4.5. It was so good. I loved it. I know a lot of people didn't like that book and a lot of people loved that book, but I personally loved it. So I recently picked up the second one, which is Hook, Line, and Sinker. The first book was about Piper, and this book moves on to Hannah, which is Piper's sister, and she's in the first one, but this book is mainly about her. She meets Fox, which I'm pretty sure Fox was her friend in the first one. Fox is like a huge flirt, but in this one Hannah's in town for work and she's staying with Fox and she knows he's a huge flirt. She's actually trying to get with one of her colleagues, but the more time she spends with Fox, the more she wants him. I'm sure that gets complicated, but I loved the first one, so I'm very excited to read Hook, Line, and Sinker, and I got this during the Target sale that was happening recently, but this was the first one I've picked up recently. The next book I recently picked up is Float Plan, and this is by Trish Dollar. The reason I found this is because my friend Lauren, also known as Lauren's Reading Corner on Instagram, she posted about this. I feel like Lauren and I have similar book tastes, so I kind of trust her opinion on different books because I feel like we have similar opinions whenever I watch her reading vlogs. So I picked up Float Plan because she recommended it and she said everyone should read it, so I took her opinion and got it. So this story is about Anna. She loses her fiance and decides to go on a trip that they were supposed to go on just solo by herself, and she goes to sea on their sailboat but realizes she can't do it alone, so she ends up hiring Keen, I think is his name. I'm not sure. He's struggling with his own things and they start to form a relationship. So this sounds really fun because it's based on like a sailboat and on the sea, so this should be interesting, but I'm excited to read this. I'm going to Miami very soon, so I think I'm going to take this one with me because I feel like it'd be like a perfect beach read. The next one I picked up I am so excited about because I have never read any of her books, but it is Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. I've heard so much about Ali Hazelwood. I've just never picked up any of her books. I looked on Goodreads at all the ratings of her books and this was the top rated one, so I ended up picking this one up. But I also wanted to read one of her books soon because she's coming to Ohio to do a book signing and I really want to go to it, and I obviously wanted to read one of her books before I show up. This story is about Elsie and Jack, and I honestly don't know if this links to any of her other books or if I need to read any of the other ones first, so let me know if I do because I honestly didn't look that up. But she's a theoretical physicist. She also offers services to be a fake girlfriend. The brother of her favorite client is like this super arrogant guy. He comes in between her and her dream job, so we'll see what happens between these two, but I've heard this one is really good, so I'm excited to finally read an Ali Hazelwood book. The next one I have is Reckless by Elsie Silver. I honestly still have to read Powerless. I've read the first two. I haven't read Powerless, so I need to read Powerless and then I can read Reckless. But this story is about Winter and Theo. These are all characters in previous books in the Chestnut Springs series, so if you haven't read those books I recommend reading the first ones obviously before you get to this one. But this one is a recent release and I'm so excited. The cover is stunning and it completes my collection for now. I'm pretty sure she's coming out with another one if I'm not mistaken, so I need to read Powerless and Reckless. But I'm very excited to find out about Theo and Winter's story. If you're in the Chestnut Springs world, you know that Winter is not like the most favorite character, so we'll see if my opinion on her changes, but I'm excited to pick this up once I've read Powerless. The next few books I have are queer reads because I wanted to be in my queer reads era because if you don't know, I'm queer and it's Pride Month. I picked up the Heartstopper series by Alice Oseman. I think that's how you pronounce it. This series I see everywhere. It's so cute. And actually I showed this one in a different haul that I did recently. I was unsure if I was keeping it because it is like a lot of pictures. It's kind of like a comic, which I didn't know when I first bought it, but people told me to keep it, so I ended up keeping it because they said it was really good. And after I read the first one, I bought the other three because I had to find out what was happening in the series. So I did a recent reading vlog with all these books, so I'm not really going to talk much about them because I'll talk about them in that video a ton. The covers are so cute and these were really great books, so hopefully you watched my reading vlog about it. But these were all recent pickups that I just got. Another queer one I picked up recently was I Kissed Shara Wheeler by Casey McQuiston. If you don't know, Casey McQuiston is one of my favorite authors. They wrote Red, White, and Royal Blue, and I wanted to pick up their latest book. And again, I put this in a recent reading vlog, so I'm not going to really talk about it, but it's the cutest cover. The inside is even cuter, and then look at that. Like, I'm obsessed. I talk more about this in, again, a recent reading vlog. You guys will see that soon if it's not up already. I have other books, but the last queer read I picked up recently was Girls Like Girls by Hayley Kiyoko. If you don't know, Hayley Kiyoko is a singer and she's a queer woman, but she recently put out this book called Girls Like Girls based on a song that she wrote called Girls Like Girls. And I wanted to pick it up because I listened to that song a lot when I was younger, and I just thought it would be cool to read the story about it. So this is about 17-year-old Coley and Sonia, and Coley has just moved to Oregon after losing her mother, and she just feels like she's unworthy of love because she's lost people. It's about their relationship and kind of like discovering their queerness. So I'm very excited to read this. It's such a pretty cover. Again, I think it's always fun when different people I know about, like Hayley Kiyoko, put out books, so I'm excited to read this. The next one I have is Stinger by Mia Sheridan. I recently met Mia Sheridan. I picked this book up because I'm pretty sure it's her newest release, if I'm not mistaken, but this story is about Grace Hamilton and Carson Stinger. Carson's actually in the adult entertainment industry. It says Grace Hamilton is a girl with a plan. She knows exactly where her life is going and prides herself on always achieving her goals. When unexpected circumstances force them together, Grace and Carson are swept up into the electric chemistry between them, surrendering to a steamy weekend in each other's arms. But for two people whose worlds could never coexist, they know their time is short. That is, until their hearts get involved without their permission. So I'm excited to read this. I love Mia Sheridan so much. This cover is very cool too. It's nothing like I've ever seen before, but this will be different and fun to read. Last but not least in this little book haul, I recently found a copy of Fourth Wing, which is obviously the talk around BookTube, BookTok, Bookstagram, everything you could think of recently. I know a lot of people have not been able to get their hands on this, and I hadn't either. I know I could have pre-ordered it, but it was not going to come out till like end of July or August, and I just hate waiting on books. If you know, if you're anything like that, I'm sure you understand. But I had called so many different bookstores around my area and none of them had it, or they said they had it that day and then people had taken them already. So I was with my mom recently. We went into this independent bookstore that I had never been into around my area, and I was just browsing. I didn't even ask if they had Fourth Wing because I just assumed they didn't, which is probably bad, but I just assumed. My eye went straight to the shelf and it had 2 copies of Fourth Wing. So I have this copy and then another one on my bookshelf. I obviously want to read one of the copies, and then I decided that I wanted to pick up another one so I could give one away to you guys. I appreciate you guys so much. I have like never felt so much love before in a community than in the book community, and I'm pretty new to the book community, so I just want to give back and say thank you for all the love you've given me over the past year. All you have to do to get a copy of Fourth Wing is subscribe to my channel if you aren't already, and then I'll have my Instagram linked down below, and just go give me a follow on there. And all I want you to do is post a comment down below saying what your current read is. It doesn't have to have anything to do with Fourth Wing. All you have to do is just post a comment of what your current read is. Make sure to list your Instagram and say that you entered, and I will pick someone randomly in a week from when this is posted, and I'll reach out to you on Instagram, which is why you need to post your Instagram in the comments. I'm so excited to give one of you guys a copy. This is only going to be US. I'm so sorry for the international people, but this is like my first ever book giveaway, and I just want to keep it in the US for now, and maybe in the future we'll expand to international, but this is for my US girlies at the moment. But I'm super excited, and I hope you guys are excited to possibly win a chance to get a copy of Fourth Wing if you don't have it already. But that was my little book haul for today. I hope you guys enjoyed all my recent pickups, and make sure again to comment down below your current read and that you entered this giveaway if you want to win a copy of Fourth Wing. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for seriously all the love and support you give me on here, Instagram, BookTok, everything. I just love you guys so much, and I love talking to you guys. So thank you. I really appreciate it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in my next one.